So great to see you again, Ranita.
It's great being back. Thank you.
So last time you were on the show, we talked about how you are no longer on dialysis. You've had a successful kidney transplant, but of course, you had to make a choice before your transplant about what type of dialysis is right for you. In reflecting back, can you talk about that experience and did you make the right choice and why?
Thinking back on my journey on PD, I would say yes, definitely. It was a good choice. Again, some of the things I remember talking about in our past episodes was that, you have more freedom, you are able to travel. So out of choices, I would say yes, peritoneal dialysis was, even to this day, if I were to go back on dialysis, I would still choose PD. I honestly did not even know what PD or peritoneal dialysis was. I only knew of hemodialysis. I was laying in the hospital bed and the nurse came in and told me, you know what, you're gonna have to start dialysis. And I told her, I'm like, no, I am not doing dialysis over my dead body. She goes, okay, I'll send the doctor in to talk to you. The doctor came in, looked at me and said, okay, kid, you got 3 months to live if you don't want to do dialysis. And he walked out of the room. I cried and I sat there and said, okay, I guess to live, I need to do dialysis. It was like pretty much tough love, but that's how my story started, with going on dialysis. Technology nowadays has gotten better compared to 5 years ago when I was on dialysis. There's so much more that you can do now and easier treatments that you can do from home.
As we mentioned last time on the show, your mom is on PD. And as you alluded to, there have been a lot of changes and technology advancements over time, even in the 7 years from when you've been on PD.
Yes, that's correct. So mine, I had a training manual, a binder set up, which I had to do step by step, flip the page. And where my mom, she just pressed next and the machine talks to her.
They delivered the machine at home and I hooked it up and the machine talks.
Select a program, then touch next.
So everything comes on the screen. It says, if you hook it up wrong, it will correct you. So you look at it, you read the instruction on the machine and you fix it. And I had no problem at all. I didn't have to call once.
Can you share some of your key learnings, some of the tools that maybe you used in deciding what type of dialysis was best for you, Ranita?
So there's so many different factors that each individual can consider when making the decision to go on peritoneal dialysis or hemodialysis. They're both good choices, but one may be better for one person versus another might be better for another person. I would always recommend to always consult with your healthcare team, your providers, such as your doctors and your care professionals would know what is best for each person, because peritoneal and hemodialysis, it may be good for one person, but it may be different for another. For example, my mom, because her health was really low, when she was admitted into the hospital, she had to go on hemodialysis right away. But as she got stronger and she got better, that's when they switched her over to peritoneal.
They quickly tried to take action while I was in the hospital. They put me on hemodialysis. So after 1 year, they transferred me from one hospital to the other. And that's the time they requested for PD, since I asked for it. So they put me on PD. They trained me and now I'm on PD and I'm loving it. It is so good.
So if you're in my situation like I was, where I had the choice of going on peritoneal or hemo, I would choose peritoneal dialysis. Again, it depends on your lifestyle. If you're more of an active person, you're able to do things by yourself, I would recommend peritoneal. Where if you're unable to do things and you need someone to care for you, or you're just in that stage where you just can't do things on your own, then I would recommend probably hemodialysis.
And of course, you've got a very active lifestyle, and I assume that that was probably a fairly big factor in your decision to go with peritoneal dialysis.
Having the active lifestyle and physically being able to do my dialysis because you do need to have the ability to do your own dialysis, meaning move the bags. There's equipment that needs to be set up and stuff each night. Physically being able to do that is a consideration as well. If you aren't able to do that, then peritoneal dialysis may not be right for you. But yes, most definitely being on that plus side of being more physically active and being able to do it, that was one of my considerations for doing peritoneal dialysis.
So an important point that you just mentioned with respect to doing PD was that you had to have the right support, the right environment, enough room in your house to store all the supplies with PD. But the other big piece was having support in your life in terms of whether that's friends or family. And I know for you, you had your husband, Sunny, and your parents, and they were absolutely critical in terms of you having a successful experience with PD.
When I did go for training, I remember Sunny did come with me. And in the beginning, my mom would come with me as well, because at that time I was not married. So someone in the house had to know how to do the dialysis setup in case of a time where I'm physically not able to because I'm not feeling well, or because I was injured, or for whatever reason, if I was unable to do my dialysis still needs to be done at nighttime. So someone would have to set up for me. So yes, there was many times during my journey that I remember my mom had to help me set up when I lived at home. And after I got married, Sunny, my husband, he would set up for me. My niece and nephew actually learned how to set up dialysis and would help me set up sometimes. So yeah, definitely having the support there is definitely a key success factor. I had a lot of family support, a lot of friend support. My work environment, my manager was awesome. She actually was very understanding and gave me reduced hours. Overall, the community, everyone was very, very supportive.
So I so vividly remember last time you were talking about doing dialysis on your wedding day and how your bridesmaids jumped in and helped you out and supported you through the process.
Yes, no, definitely. On my wedding day, I had to do a manual exchange where I had to hook up my bags to an IV pole. And while everyone was downstairs eating snacks, me and my bridesmaid, we were upstairs and we were doing dialysis. And then same thing, my reception, I was able to take my machine with me to the hotel where I got ready for my reception. And I did my dialysis before I partied the night away.
Definitely one of a kind wedding story, Ranita. So we'll be right back with more with Ranita, and we're going to talk about the power of technology and how it's really helped to connect kidney patients with their healthcare teams. So don't go away.